Welcome to the review of the Alcatel One Touch Pixi 3 smartphone. This is the 4.5-inch version. So Alcatel, when they announced the launch of the Pixi 3 line of smartphones, there were 4 of them that were launched, this being one of them, the 4.5-inch screen version, and they were launched around the same time that the One Touch smartwatch was announced earlier this year. Now look at its physical attributes. Initially you can tell it definitely is a low-end phone, but it provides basic functionality. You have your power button, you have your volume rocker key on the right hand side, and the back is like a plastic mat which kind of like smudges easily. As you can see, my hands are oily and you can see marks on there. Anyway, on the left hand side there are no buttons, and the top you have your 3.5mm jack, microphone, and there's also a mini USB port at the bottom as well. And there's a microphone there as well. This 4.5-inch version Pixi 3 smartphone can be available with or without the 4G radio. This particular one does have 4G radio built in, which is pretty nice. And the display, it's a standard 854 x 480 WVGA display. So it's built just to provide basic graphics, but more than enough for somebody who just wants to surf the internet, check their mail, do all the basic things that you would want in a smartphone. Taking a closer look at the body, as far as dimensions are concerned, this phone is 5.2 x 2.56 by 0.39 inches deep, weighs around 125 grams, that's just under 4.5 ounces, and there's an optional dual SIM. In the 3G model there's a mini SIM, and in the 4G model it takes a micro SIM. And so this is the 4G model. So the display, it's a TFT capacitive touchscreen, 16 million colors, which is pretty standard in today's smartphone market. And yes, it has multi-touch capability, so up to 2 fingers multi-touch, which is pretty okay for a standard low-end phone. Now this version of Android, it is KitKat, which is version 4.4.2. Also, did I forget to mention that this little smartphone has a built-in FM radio. That's a neat feature. Now some hidden nuggets include a single finger zoom function where you can just double tap the screen with one finger and zoom in and out in your camera. Now I tested the camera on this thing and it's pretty nice, pretty decent, clear, crisp pictures. Rear facing camera, standard 8 megapixel. It comes with autofocus, LED flash, and it has all the features that you get with a traditional smartphone camera, such as geotagging, panorama mode, etc. So geotagging means that wherever you are, if you have your GPS settings turned on, if you were to take pictures in Paris, your pictures would be tagged as taken in Paris. So initially it's a bit tricky because I ended up taking pictures while trying to enable the single finger zoom function, but after a couple minutes of practice I was able to master it. All in all, it's a pretty decent phone. I mean, it can work on various operating systems. It even has a 4G download booster, so if you have the LTE version, which I'm showing here, there is this 4G download booster, which is really cool for downloading large files. On the flip side, however, because it is supposed to be a low-end phone, there are some limitations. So one, for example, is the fact that the onboard memory, it's only 4 gigabytes slash 512 megabytes of memory, of a memory RAM duo. So that's 4 gigabytes of memory, 512 megabytes of RAM, which is pretty sparse. And seeing in today's typical smartphone market, there's a lot more memory that really resides on a smartphone. And then the fact that the front-facing camera, it's a mere VGA. It's a VGA spec camera for the front-facing camera, which is pretty, a low resolution compared to what's on the market today. The Pixi 3 4.5 comes with all of your pre-installed applications like your voice recorder, your Google Play Store, all the basic apps that you'll find with a typical Android operating system such as this. And the capacitive touchscreen is very responsive to touch. As you can see in this example, I don't have to press too hard on the screen to get the apps to run or anything like that. WPS Office comes pre-installed on this phone. This is a very popular app on the Android platform where you have the capability to view, edit, and create Office documents anywhere. It's 100% compatible with Microsoft Office and Google Docs, and it includes the Writer, Presentation, and Spreadsheet application. The Pixi 3 4.5 is capable of running very good Android games, graphic-intensive games. I mean, you have a TFT capacitive touchscreen with 16 million colors, a resolution of 480 x 854 pixels, which is roughly 218 ppi or pixels per inch. And yes, under the hood, there is enough horsepower to run even more graphic-intensive games. I mean, the 3G model has a dual-core 1 GHz Cortex A7 processor. This particular phone is the 4G model, which has a quad-core 1.1 GHz chip, running all the great graphics. So if you're looking for a low-cost phone that provides you all the basic functionality of a great Android handset, then this is definitely the phone for you.